My name is Natalie, and I'm here to talk to you about commercial composting. Have you ever thought what a waste it is to throw food scraps into the garbage can? Wondered if there was a better way of handling compostable materials that was both cost-effective and efficient? And questioned whether composting really makes a local and lasting difference? Consider this. Nearly 30% of the material that ends up in landfills across the country is food waste, buried in a sealed environment that by design prevents its natural breakdown. In 1989, at the University of Arizona, a team studying garbage dug up and sampled landfill waste. Among their finds was a newspaper dating back to 1952 and a fully intact hot dog mixed with trash from 1971. While landfills prevent some materials from breaking down, they do not always guarantee that toxins will be contained. As the environmental costs of operating landfills increase, so do the economic costs, raising questions about their continued viability. How much more will people be willing to pay in tipping fees to cover the ever-increasing costs of operating landfills? And at what point will the inherent value of land be worth more than the development of yet another landfill? On the other hand, when you divert compostable materials, you are not only choosing an environmentally responsible and cost-effective method of disposal, you are helping to renew resources in the form of nutrient-rich soil for area farms and gardens. Maybe you already know all this. Well, then I'm here to tell you that composting can both be quick and easy, and I'll show you how. In this video, we'll look at the composting process from restaurant to farm, focusing on compost diversion, compost hauling, and the composting process. Let's first take a look at compost diversion in the restaurant setting. It all starts with knowing what's compostable. A good rule of thumb is anything that was once living is compostable. For example, food, including dairy, vegetables, fruit, meat and bones, soiled paper, like cups and plates, takeout boxes, napkins, tea bags and filters, waxed cardboard used in milk and juice cartons, as well as specially engineered plastics labeled compostable and used in utensils, straws, cups, and dishes. Once you know what to look for, the next step is to decide how to best incorporate compost receptacles into your work environment. Many kitchens use smaller containers, like a 5-gallon bucket or a stainless steel pan, to conveniently capture food waste at individual workstations. If you're trying to save space, Slim Jims are a nice option. Or get creative, like our customer who wedged a bucket inside a trash can to combine food and regular waste in a single container. Try out several different methods. You'll quickly find what works best for you. Each kitchen will have 64-gallon toters or roll carts that can be used to empty smaller containers throughout the day. When the toter is full, it will be collected by Danny's dumpster and replaced with an empty, clean cart. It's that easy. Not to mention, it attracts positive publicity for your business, demonstrating responsible disposal practices in the community. Now let's take a look at the next step in the composting process, hauling. Danny's dumpster began operations in 2007 out of the back of an old Toyota van, hauling recycling and trash for residents in Madison County. We now operate in 4 counties and are the all-inclusive compost, recycle, and trash hauler in the area. Thanks to your business, we continue to grow. Depending on your needs, Danny's dumpster will pick up your compost multiple times throughout the week, operating in the early morning hours so as to not interfere with normal business. Full toters are replaced with clean, empty carts, helping to keep odors and rummaging critters to a minimum. And materials are taken to a nearby compost processing facility, keeping fuel consumption down, overall costs low, and your dollars local. last step is the actual composting process, which takes place at Kroll Farm in Asheville, a certified compost processing facility owned and operated by Mike Kroll, who transitioned the old dairy farm into a composting facility in 1999. More than 12 tons of food waste are composted here weekly, in addition to other organic materials. Large bins hold the materials in different stages of the composting process. Both wet and dry materials are required for composting to work. Wet materials provide the bulk of nutrients and arrive in solid form, like food scraps diverted from restaurants, and liquid form, like wastewater from grease traps. Dry materials are then added to help absorb excess moisture. Once these materials are mixed together, the composting process begins. Composting is a natural biological process. Organic material is metabolized by microorganisms and consumed by worms and other invertebrates. Their decay and excrement fortifies the soil with nutrients that can then be put back to work growing food, plants, and trees. Temperature is key in this process. As the metabolic rate of the microbes accelerates, the temperature within the pile increases. These microorganisms thrive in temperatures between 130 and 155 degrees. Temperatures must be monitored and often reduced by introducing more oxygen through turning of the piles. If temperatures get too high, it will kill the microorganisms that facilitate the breakdown. Within a period of 6 to 10 months, the material is ready to be put back to work as topsoil. But first, the material must be screened. Screening separates the fine particles from large. Particles that are small enough to fall through the screener are ready for use as topsoil. Larger particles are reused in the composting process. The final product is nutrient-rich topsoil, made available to gardeners, landscapers, and farmers within the community, who begin the process again. It's actually pretty cool if you think about it. The scraps you divert today will grow the food you eat tomorrow. Composting closes the loop on a sustainable system that feeds both people and the economy. It all comes down to a question: trash can or compost bin? Waste or renew?